If AJ doesn't knock him out in the first round, in the second round, then he didn't really win the fight, even if he ultimately does win the fight on the scorecards. Do you feel that sort of pressure to not just win, Anthony, but also knock Jake Paul out?
Yeah, I understand. I really understand where they're coming from. I understand. I get it. I know the expectations and demands these fans have, and I respect it. If I didn't respect it, I'll be honest with you and say, nah, they're talking rubbish. But I do get it, because I hold myself in that same regard. So I need to do it. And that's my intention, to seek and destroy.
My voice cracked. I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025. USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for.
He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round.
Anthony Joshua gives a strong warning to Jake Paul before their fight. He says he will not only win, but will destroy Jake in the very first round. Joshua makes it clear he will not hold back or go easy at any moment. He plans to start fast, put heavy pressure on Jake, and end the fight quickly. Joshua wants to show the huge difference in power, skill, and experience as soon as the bell rings.
Saying this, is there any clause that says you need to go easy on Jake Paul?
Honestly, I haven't seen that part, but no, there's no clause. I heard that he fought Mike Tyson in 14-ounce gloves. I heard that he was going to fight Javante in 12-ounce gloves, and then he chose to fight me in 10-ounce gloves. So there's no part. He wants to go easy. I think he wants to hurt me.
Michael Bisping has weighed in on the upcoming Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, focusing on the obvious physical gap between the two. He stresses that Jake Paul simply cannot handle the power and force behind Joshua's punches. Bisping references Joshua's past bouts against heavy hitters like Francis Ngannou, showing how devastating his shots can be. He implies that this mismatch in strength and experience could make the fight extremely one-sided.
Anthony Joshua gets flatlined. Every single punch that was thrown was landed, and every punch that landed put Francis Ngannou down, okay? So to stand there and think that Jake Paul, who's much, much smaller, who has way less experience, that doesn't weigh anything near him, is going to have a chance, and not to mention the technical abilities. Let's just talk about that. Not to mention the technical abilities or experience. We're talking about an Olympic gold medalist, remember, from back in the day, who's then gone on to become a true British boxing icon, or a worldwide boxing icon, let's be honest, right? There's no way that he loses to Jake Paul.
Derek Chisora chooses a very different angle when sharing his opinion. To him, the fight is not about competition, skill comparison, or legacy. He thinks the entire event is driven by business interest. Chisora argues that fans should not treat the matchup like a clash that will define careers. Instead, they should view it as entertainment created for financial success and attention. From his perspective, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is less about sport and more about a strategic move that benefits everyone involved. His words strip away the dramatic assumptions and focus on the commercial side, which he believes is the real reason this fight is happening.
AJ against Jake, but what sort of gulf do you expect to see?
Listen, we are in the game of entertainment. Either we're entertainment in the ring or on the football pitch, it don't matter. It's called entertainment. People are going to buy tickets to go watch Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. You know, we're all entertainers, either way. So I'm happy. I'm so happy for AJ because he's doing this for himself. And you have to understand, you have to give so much respect to Jake Paul. You know, whatever he says, he makes it happen. You know, before he was like, he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, and people were laughing at him. And then suddenly it's happened, and people are like, wow, what's going on here? You know, so kudos to that kid, man. He's very good at promoting everything he does.
Derek, do you reckon there's a bit of jealousy from other boxers and even like pundits flying around as well? Because even since it's been announced last night and today...
I know the biggest jealousy pundit you guys have, and that is Simon Jordan. I'm telling you right now, Simon Jordan right now, he must be suffering inside.
Eddie Hearn enters the discussion with a calm but realistic take on the situation. While many supporters are imagining a dramatic first-round finish from Anthony Joshua, Hearn reminds people that things inside a ring do not always go according to excitement or predictions. He explains that the crowd wants an instant knockout because Joshua is the far more experienced heavyweight, but boxing can look different when an opponent starts moving or defending early. According to him, if Jake Paul manages to stay active during the opening exchanges, the fight might stretch to the second or even third round, which should not be considered a failure from Joshua. Hearn's main point is to avoid placing unnecessary pressure on AJ by demanding a one-round finish, because such expectations can distract a fighter from performing with control and discipline.
People can't speak, yeah, but it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. One, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. Two, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads around.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, Brian, give us two, like, or three. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get one shot round the arm and...
KSI, who is known for his rivalry with Jake Paul and his own journey into boxing, adds more heat to the topic in his own blunt style. He revealed that he personally messaged Joshua with a very direct request, telling him not to allow the fight to last 8 rounds under any circumstances. KSI believes that if the bout goes that long, then Joshua would not have fulfilled the standard expected from a world-class heavyweight facing someone with Jake's level of experience. In KSI's view, the responsibility on Joshua is huge, not only because of the difference in size and skill, but because fans around the world are comparing both men in every aspect.
What's happening with that?
I couldn't give 2 Fs about Jake. Do not care. I can't wait to see Jake Paul get absolutely starched by AJ. I messaged AJ and I said, brother, if this guy is able to get out that ring within 8 rounds, you haven't done your job good.
Did he reply?
You haven't done your job well. Yes. Yeah, I talked to AJ, bro. He said he's going to do a madness, yeah.
Would you get in the ring with Anthony Joshua?
No. Yeah, he's stupid. He's an idiot. He loves the fame and he loves the money. So ultimately, if you're just that money hungry and that fame hungry, you're going to just do whatever. You don't care what it is. So getting in the ring with AJ, he's there like in his head probably thinks, yeah, you know what? I've got this. Also, I'm going to get a load of money and I'm going to get a load of fame from this. But is it really...
Baron Quigan, who is a respected former world champion and longtime figure in the sport, offers a very different tone. His comments carry the seriousness of someone who has spent many years in a profession where power can end a fight instantly. When he imagines Jake Paul standing across from Anthony Joshua, he expresses concern rather than excitement. Quigan has watched dangerous punchers throughout his entire career, and his view is shaped by the harsh truth that heavyweight power can change everything in a single moment. He describes the matchup as something that carries a level of risk people outside the sport might not fully understand.
You know, for those last 2 fights, that it is more difficult than he thought to boil himself down to 147. So it may be better for him to concentrate at 150, 154. But then you got Ortiz, you got Boots Ennis, and you got Brian Norman Jr. all in the 154-pound category. So it's a tough division. So it wouldn't at all surprise me if he's unable to win a world title because the opposition is good. But maybe if he boiled down to 147 again, he would have a better chance.
Last thing I want to ask you about, Barry, is the big news regarding Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. One of the biggest quotes, 2 of the quotes that stuck out to me was that David Hayes said, that fight could be Jake Paul's last day on earth. And I think Gareth A. Davis has described it as a freak show. Some people are saying, you know, AJ's grabbing the bag. There's nothing wrong with that because anybody else, if they got offered that kind of money, they would do it. So, and some people are suggesting it might damage his legacy. Where do you sit with the decision of him taking that fight? And it's a professional 8-round fight as well.
Yes, it's a highly dangerous fight for Jake Paul. I don't know what he's doing unless they have done some sort of caveat or some sort of agreement that he says he's going to go easy on him or he's not going to
He's not gonna go.
Another layer of conversation connects to the idea that this fight could elevate Joshua's public image differently. Some commentators mentioned that if Joshua performs strongly and dominates completely, he could regain the aura he once had earlier in his career. They even suggested that he could walk toward the kind of larger-than-life status Muhammad Ali carried in his era, at least in terms of public presence and global attention. They argued that an explosive performance would remind audiences that Joshua remains a major heavyweight attraction and still carries the charisma that made him a worldwide star. This comparison is not about ability or legacy, but about Joshua reclaiming a confident stride that made fans believe in his star power during his rise.